Tonight live from the 7 Newsplex, beginning first at 5. A 7-year-old is pulled through her bedroom window and raped. Tonight we learn she may not be the only victim. The nation shuts down today in memory of former President Richard Milhouse Nixon. A pickup truck driver is on the road 1 minute, tossed into a river the next. And you are looking at an outraged Cuban community, especially after looking at pictures of a fellow exile kissing Castro. 7 News at 5 is next.
Live from South Florida's news station, WSVN 7. This is 7 News at 5 o'clock.
And hello again, everybody. There is a child rapist on the loose, and tonight, because of it, an entire neighborhood is paralyzed with fear.
We first told you about this little girl snatched from her home in the middle of the night and raped last night.
And tonight, 7 News has learned the same man may have struck before, breaking into homes and actually watching children sleep. This all happening in Vero Beach. That is where 7's Sheperd Smith is standing by. He's been following this story since it first broke. He joins us now live with this latest report. Sheperd.
Rick, indeed we have, and today we've uncovered some exclusive information. We found out not only that there have been 7 other peeping Tom incidents in this neighborhood, but another girl in this same neighborhood has been, in fact, targeted. Confirmed today by police, and this afternoon we spoke with her mother, and here is her story.
One of these bricks was put right underneath the window here, and the screen was off and the window was up, and her windows are never open.
Christine Fratcher, in an exclusive interview with 7 News, recalling the night of March 2nd, the night a man entered her daughter's room, hovering over her daughter's bed. Christine lives just 1 street away from the home of Sunday night's rape victim, just 1 street away from the park where that rape happened, and the similarities between the 2 cases are frightening. Whoever this was had taken the purses and thrown them down on the floor and hovered around this bed.
Right, and there were leaves all the way up to right here. Like they're actually, right up to here, all the way around up to here, like they were leaning over the bed.
Luckily, Christine says she woke up in the middle of the night, discovered her daughter's room door closed and locked for the first time ever. And as she yelled for her daughter to wake up, the man disappeared.
I think it's the same person. I feel the only reason my daughter wasn't taken, now I think so, is because she's big. I feel that they couldn't run off with someone who's 75 pounds.
Cops apparently wondering too. Today, 7 News has learned Fratcher was called to the police station here and questioned again about the night of March 2nd, questioned by the same detectives working Sunday night's rape. Now, does this mean that they're all connected? Does this mean that the same man is responsible for all of the peeping Tom incidents in this tiny neighborhood? For that incident and for the rape that happened here Sunday night, a little girl snatched from her bedroom, taken to a wooded area, raped, and then sent home. Is it all related? Cops right now refusing to say either way, but we are preparing Team 7 coverage for 7 News at 6. We're going to tell you about police who've been brought in from other agencies, from more detectives being placed on this case, and a neighborhood still in fear. Paul Moniz joins me for Team 7 coverage at 6. For now, live in Vero Beach, I'm Sheperd Smith.
There are obviously many developments in this case tonight, and as Sheperd just said, he is joined by another 7 News crew in Vero Beach. They are working on Team 7 coverage, and we will bring you updated information at 6.
Here's another big story that we are following for you tonight. Literally thousands of people standing in line for hours. They are there to pay their last respects to former President Richard Milhouse Nixon. Followers and admirers of Mr. Nixon's topsy-turvy career have been patiently waiting their turn at the Nixon Presidential Library in Yorba Linda, California. The line of mourners at one point 3 miles long. Americans standing for hours in the cold just to whisper their silent goodbyes. Among those in attendance, the man who now resides in the White House where Nixon once ruled, President Clinton, left Washington just before noon today. He will deliver the eulogy at funeral services tonight. Ironically enough, as a student, Bill Clinton protested President Nixon's Vietnam War policies.
And right now, preparations for tonight's funeral are underway. 7's Robb Hanrahan is in our National Satellite Center watching the latest video come in on the feeds from California. Robb.
Well, Marilyn, some Americans are calling it one of the most moving experiences of their lives, the opportunity to say goodbye to Richard Milhouse Nixon. Let's take you now live off our satellites to funeral preparations in Yorba Linda. It has been an amazing 24 hours in California as America mourns the loss of our 37th president. A remarkable sight. People standing in lines more than a mile long, waiting for up to 8 hours to pay their respects to Richard Milhouse Nixon. The Nixon Library and birthplace in tiny Yorba Linda, California, stayed open through the night, so people from all walks of life and all ages could pay their final respects.
I was a little kid when he was president, but it's just, I don't know, he just was a great man. I think he did a lot for this country, especially foreign policy, and it's really just nice just to come here and to be here.
I think that Richard Nixon was a good man for all what he has done.
Why is that? Who told you that?
My dad.
Mr. Nixon worked his way up from congressman to vice president to president, only to resign because of the Watergate scandal.
Got carried away on a couple things, but we're here to forgive. And what he did well outweighed what he did wrong.
Mr. Nixon died last Friday following a stroke. His body was flown back to California with full military honors yesterday. And the funeral for Mr. Nixon will be held in just a couple of hours. After that, he'll be buried next to his wife, Pat, on the library grounds. We'll, of course, continue to follow the events out of California and bring you the very latest. Live in the National Satellite News Center, Robb Hanrahan, 7 News.
Back here in South Florida, the question on everybody's mind tonight, is this really the Sunshine State? Not if you are judging by things you see in these pictures. Slippery roads causing this car to lose control while changing lanes on 67th Avenue in Dade County. The car skidded right into a pole, knocking it off the foundation, the pole that is. The pole fell on 2 other cars in that intersection. Luckily, injuries in this case were minor.
The wet weather taking its toll in southwest Florida. In Fort Myers, a water spout came ashore and literally tossed a truck off a bridge and into a river. Minutes later, the driver was found clinging to the bridge. He'll be okay. The tornado was part of a weather system that brought thunderstorms and hail to the area.
Heading north from Fort Myers, a twister is caught on camera by television news. A tornado swept through the outskirts of Tampa, giving residents there plenty of cause for alarm. This amazing video coming to us from a Tampa television station. The entire miracle of nature was broadcast live as it tore through town. Luckily, it never made a direct hit.
That storm system delivered quite a blow to South Florida. A visiting teenager struck by lightning recovers tonight at Jackson Memorial Hospital. 7's Craig Stevens just off the phone with hospital officials. He is at the 7 News desk with the latest. Craig.
Marilyn just checked with the folks at Jackson Hospital minutes ago. They tell us tonight 15-year-old Stephanie Molina remains in critical condition right now. Molina, as you say, on vacation from North Carolina, got zapped yesterday afternoon at the Milton Thompson Park. And from what we hear, that bolt of lightning hit a tree, tore through a tent, then burned much of Molina's abdomen. She tells doctors her sneakers even blew off. Those injuries bad enough for Molina to be airlifted to Jackson Hospital, and late word from there is that she'll be recovering at JMH for about a week. Again, that lightning strike victim remains listed in critical condition right now. Live at the 7 News desk, I'm Craig Stevens.
While other parts of the United States are not so lucky, deadly twisters tearing through the Midwest and the Southwest as well. Several states have been ravaged by the system over the last couple of days. Lafayette, Indiana, the latest to take a hit. It happened during the night. 2 people were killed as tornadoes ripped through a mobile home park, totally demolishing the area. 50 others were injured. Witnesses say it is a miracle more people were not hurt.
North Texas, residents trying to put their lives back together tonight after twisters ravage a Dallas suburb. The deadly tornado tore through Lancaster yesterday. It left hundreds of homes and the town's business district in ruins. 4 people died, dozens were injured. Governor Ann Richards has declared 12 North Texas counties a disaster area.
Marilyn, one of the areas that you're talking about is Gainesville, Texas. People there are also cleaning up tonight. The twister touched down yesterday, ripping apart a mobile home park and destroying several businesses. The damage is being called nothing short of phenomenal.
And several homes and farms in Minnesota are leveled tonight. A twister dropped out of the sky, surprising everyone. Most homeowners in the path of the tornado were at work at the time. Damage estimates tonight are at $3 million and climbing. Across the globe, a storm of controversy slams South Africa. There is another wave of violence.
Oh, this time it's an explosion at Johannesburg International Airport. This all happening during South Africa's dawn of freedom. 7's Kelley Mitchell is at our World Satellite Center. She is looking at the pictures overseas, those pictures that have been coming in throughout the course of the afternoon. Kelley, what do you see?
Well, from all the information we've been able to pull in here at the World Satellite Center, things are pretty much a mess in South Africa. Take a look at the pictures for yourself. You can see what you think. The information we have right now, the second day of the country's historic all-race election, now being marked by violence. A car bomb did explode this morning at Johannesburg Airport. Glass all over the place. At least a dozen people apparently hurt. Police say the bomb went off near the departure lounge. They have now sealed off the airport, and they have evacuated passengers. But we're happy to report the violence has not been able to stop the voting. Many people waiting in line for hours to get their first chance ever to even cast a ballot. African National Congress leader Nelson Mandela headed to the voting booth early this morning. The 75-year-old former political prisoner is still the one who is expected to win this election. Current President F.W. de Klerk, you see him right there, also voting today in Pretoria. He is calling his vote one for a, quoting here, better South Africa. Now, one more thing you should know about it. Looks like these elections are going into an overtime, if you will. The polls are going to remain open all night long until the last ballot is cast. Live from the World Satellite Center, I'm Kelley Mitchell, 7 News.
All right, thanks, Kelley.
Straight ahead from the Newsplex tonight, the man they call Dr. Death taking the stand and spilling his guts in front of jurors. Dr. Jack Kevorkian, you will hear what he has to say in just a few minutes.
It's been a month since a South Florida woman disappeared. Tonight, the Melendi family has a new plan to try and get her back.
And here's one you might relate to. Tired of listening to your significant other snore the night away? There is a cure. Marilyn will tell you what it is. We'll be back.
You're watching 7 News at 5 with Rick Sanchez and Marilyn Mitzel.
Breaking news tonight.
This is a story we've been following since we returned from Cuba. More fallout tonight for a South Florida exile seen kissing Fidel Castro. Let's toss it to Glenna Milberg. She is at the 7 News desk with pictures that are just now coming in. Glenna, what's going on?
You're right, Rick. Just last night, we saw pictures of Magna Montiel Davis, politician, lawyer, hugging, kissing, talking with Fidel Castro. Well, today she is the target of the Exile community's wrath. She was attacked as she left her law office, and we have that video just in. That's her leaving her law office under heavy police guard after getting a bomb threat this morning. She got into a car that was being driven by her husband. That's the white station wagon there. When residents and business people in this predominantly Hispanic neighborhood confronted them, they were throwing things, yelling, just look what was going on there. Chased them, really, right out of the driveway. That couple was not hurt, not physically anyway. And this was not the only thing that happened to Montiel Davis today. 5 people in her law office quit after seeing her with Fidel last night. I'm Glenna Milberg reporting live from the news desk.
Harvey Carcass didn't even know how bad he snored until he got married to Anna Marie.
We were considering sleeping in different bedrooms, actually. Remember?
Yeah. And it makes a major difference in one's life, without a doubt.
At his wife's suggestion, he sought help to try and cure his snoring problem.
On the x-rays of Dr. Carcass, this is his normal position of the jaw. This is the width of the airway.
Dentists treat snoring and sleep-breathing disorders with custom-made mouth devices. The newest appliances look and fit a lot like retainers used to straighten teeth.
You're able to breathe comfortably without any problems?
The mouthpiece forces the jaw slightly forward and holds it there.
This is with the jaw advanced forward. You've almost doubled the diameter of the airway, allowing air to come through at a lower speed, therefore not vibrating the soft tissue structures.
I was really surprised that after about 2 nights, I got so used to it that when I would go to sleep, I would miss it if I had forgotten to take it with me. So it became second nature.
The mouthguard costs almost as much as the new laser surgery to cure snoring, but there's no recovery time. What's more, as this couple points out, you find out if it works the very first night.
And welcome back tonight. We here at 7 News are going to take you on the information superhighway. We are unveiling our data center. This is a facility where you, the viewer, can interact with us on each given newscast. How does it work? Well, 7's Mark Londner is joining us now from the data center to explain just how it does that. Mark?
Rick, the purpose of the data center is to get more information to our viewers faster and to get information from our viewers faster. The goal, to make television news a two-way form of communication, to make you, the viewer, a big part of what we do here. The tools include high-speed fax, instant wire service updates, electronic display maps, online email.
We all keep hearing about the information highway. 7 News is now one of the on-ramps. The data center is where you and 7 News and the electronic news resources of the world interconnect. It's
an exchange of information between us and our viewers.
Computer expert and award-winning newsman Will Harbeson set up the data center.
For anyone that has a fax machine at home, you can send us a fax through our own telephone number, and easily the reporter can take that fax and show it right on the camera immediately. So that's one of the quickest feedbacks we'll be able to use with the viewers. Additionally, we've signed up with 3 online services, Prodigy, America Online, and CompuServe, each of which gives anyone who has a personal computer at home the opportunity to contact us with a unique user ID.
We've already received some electronic mail from viewers. Soon we'll be sending you mail, including information on some of the stories we're working on. That's so you can let us know information we need to develop those stories.
For instance, Patrick Frazier's series this week on the drag racing. Had we have had this kind of service then, we could have sent email out to people, are they drag racing in your neighborhood? Do you know about it? And in terms of that being a resource for video information for us, is very powerful.
You can email us through Prodigy, where our ID is News07A. Our ID on American Online also is News07A. On CompuServe, you can reach us at 72410-3445. And when we open up our fax lines, the number is 756-2530. The data center also gives you instant access to the world's news gathering services. Even before the video is available, the wire services are flashing urgent messages. The U alerts us the latest on a breaking story is coming in.
So when there is an urgent update coming in, there's another one right now, people will be able to read it over our shoulders as we see it.
Exactly.
Bottom line, you don't need to be into computers to get something out of the data center. So, whether or not you've got a PC or a fax, welcome to Interactive TV News. Welcome to the two-way information highway. This is Mark Londner at the data center.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Again, we're following a breaking story that Glenna Milberg just told you about moments ago. Outrage, offense, and now major opposition. Some of South Florida's Cuban exiles joining forces against a woman caught on camera kissing Fidel Castro. We will be taking you again to the heart of this protest.
Disbelief tonight across the world. They are hacking off the arms and legs of some kids in Rwanda.
And things are heating up again in Ecuador. We will be taking you around the world. Stay with us.
Time for 7 weather.
Boy, those thunderstorms were really flaring up starting early today because of a disturbance that developed overnight right over just off the coastline there. So that really took all that moisture, flared up those showers and those thunderstorms, and we got dumped on once again. In fact, we also have some water spouts that were just sighted north of Boca Chica near Key West, so a special marine warning is in effect until 7 o'clock tonight. Severe thunderstorms also right around the nation's midsection, and the winter weather continues to fly across the northern Rockies. Putting it into motion, that's what happened last night. Watch the flare up today. There you see it. Severe thunderstorm watches all the way down into the Tennessee Valley, and then tornado watches for the nation's midsection. And yes, we've had some rain here in South Florida. The Doppler radar picking up the echoes just as clearly as can be. One more time on the loop and you'll see what's been happening. It's been moving very rapidly out towards the west, and we do have some showers developing right now over northeast Dade County. So your forecast tonight, a chance of showers with a low of 73 degrees. Then tomorrow, a good chance of afternoon showers and or thunderstorms, high temperatures hitting about 85 degrees. And the boaters will have winds out of the east at 15 knots, seas running 3 to 4 feet, temperature in the surf at 81 degrees. So stay dry and stay clear of those thunderstorms. We'll see you back here at 5:30.
Our first stop tonight in World News, Rwanda. Tonight, 44 orphans leaving the battle-torn region after a heinous attack.
Latest word, some of the kids have actually had their arms and legs cut off with machetes while they receive medical treatment in Uganda. Dozens of others remain at the orphanage in the middle of the fierce fighting. So far, more than 100,000 people have died in this bloodbath.
Now we take you to Japan. Investigators go through the debris trying to determine what caused yesterday's horrific crash that killed nearly 300 people. The flight data recorder could hold some answers that are supposed to be released sometime soon. The China Airlines Airbus crashed and exploded at Nagoya's airport yesterday. Only 9 people survived. There is a chance the plane may have stalled.
Ecuador, first they were out, now they're flaring up again. Huge fires. The flames were under control a few days ago, but that is not the case now. So far, the fires have torched about 15,000 acres of land. No word on how the flames started up again.
And now we take you to Bosnia. The bloodbath in the Balkans rages on. Snipers in Sarajevo taking out even more innocent victims. Witnesses say a 5-year-old boy was shot in the head today while playing outside. He was rushed to the hospital. Doctors immediately went to work to save his life. No word tonight on his condition.
Later on 7 News at 6, a child rapist on the loose. We take you from the scene of the crime to the scene of a neighborhood on guard. Tonight, shocking developments all parents need to hear.
Also, a middle school teacher admits to taking nude pictures of several 14-year-old students. His story topping 7 News at 5:30.
Go back to Cuba! Go back to Cuba!
And she was seen kissing Castro. Now some Cuban exiles are furious.
I'm Jay Heiler. A little later on in sports, we'll take a look back at a wet and wild game for the Marlins last night. Plus, we'll take a ride on board with the Heat as they wing their way to Atlanta for the playoffs.
And that is 7 News at 5 o'clock.
7 News at 5:30 is next. Don't go away.
Next on 7 News at 5:30. A Dade teacher admits he fondled a 13-year-old student at school. Tonight, you'll hear him explain why he did it. It's been 1 month since Shannon Melendi disappeared. Tonight, her family and friends are trying something new to find her. Black flags fly in a neighborhood where people could be forced out of the homes they've worked so hard to keep. And Busch Gardens' newest additions are so small, they fit in the palm of your hand. These stories and much more coming up next on 7 News at 5:30.